Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, apparently a lot of people on the Norwegian Spirit certainly weren't having a very good day. So by now you probably heard the Norwegian Spirit was on a tour, 14 days, and they were supposed to hit Norway, Iceland, go through the fjords, hit Amsterdam, Scotland, and because of what the cruise line says anyway, because of weather conditions, severe wind conditions, because of the hurricane after effects that were going through the area, they ended up missing a few ports. First of all, they were supposed to go into Amsterdam. They changed from going to Amsterdam and went into La Haye, and it turns out they couldn't dock there, so they ended up spending another day at sea. Then they were supposed to have 3 ports in Norway, and it ended up being 5 ports, although one of those ports turned out to be closed to tourists because it was closed for the season, there was nothing to do, and they couldn't even get off the ship. They did end up in Ireland, but apparently they didn't go to Iceland, and it did stop at 8 ports altogether, 7 if you count the one they couldn't get off at, out of 9 ports. So they ended up missing 2 full, but they did change a lot of the other destinations. A lot of things were happening. We had the weather conditions that were happening. There was a naval ship that was broken down in one of the ports, and that's where they were supposed to go in and dock, and they couldn't get out into the port. So a lot of things happened that ended up being canceled on this cruise. Passengers were getting irate every time that they said they were canceling. And I have a whole bunch of mixed feelings on this because I wasn't on the ship, but I actually have chatted with some people who were on the ship, who messaged me during some of this, and their feelings aren't quite matching up with a lot of the feelings that I'm hearing from the riotous people on the Norwegian Spirit. So first off, let's cover off the weather conditions. I'm a person that severely believes that if they have to change your itinerary because of a storm, because of danger and high winds, then your safety should be of utmost importance, and that's it. I booked a cruise. It was billed as a Norwegian transatlantic cruise. We didn't end up going to Norway, we didn't end up going to Scotland, we didn't end up going to Ireland. Instead, they sent us south to Spain instead. Quite a different itinerary. Were there riots on the ship? No. Were there complaints on the ship? No. Everyone understood there was a hurricane in the region and we were going to have to go there to be safe. So I will always side on the air of caution when it comes to going into a storm. Nobody wants to go into a storm. You can ask the people who were on my Spectrum of the Seas for the first 12 hours of my cruise leaving Shanghai, China a week ago. There are a lot of seasick people on that ship and we weren't in the storm, we were running away from the storm, but the ship was a-rocking, and there were seasick bags everywhere. So if you think that, oh, it's just a little bit of weather, and I want to go to the port anyway, no, you're wrong. I'll just have to say that. You're wrong. Safety comes first. That's always going to be my opinion. You're not going to be able to change me on that. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances here going on. I've heard a lot of complaints about them serving stale food on the cruise ship. That would be an awful different extenuating circumstance. If they weren't able to provision the ship properly and now they have old food, usually they won't put out stale food, they just won't put that food out. Like if the bananas are going bad, they won't put the bananas out. They'll just, dispose of them instead of putting stale food out. So that's normally what we do, but there was reports of stale food from the second day of the cruise, which okay, I'll have to believe when people say this. And then there were reports of all the toilets were backed up. Nobody could flush the toilets. And there was broken down public restrooms. Well, I've seen pictures and it's all of the same bathroom that's broken down as far as the public bathroom is broken down. So I'm going to dismiss that one as far as public restrooms are broken down, because I've seen 9 different posts now and every single one is the same bathroom. So let's get that one out of the way. As far as this being in the room, I've talked to 4 different people now on that cruise. And they said, all 3 of them said there were no issues with their bathroom. One person said they had an issue. There was a part broken. A maintenance person came in and fixed it, and it worked fine after that. So that was a problem. That wasn't a system problem, apparently. But he did say he did hear people complaining that their bathrooms were down. So I don't think it was a ship-wide thing. I think it was a per cabin, not knowing how many were affected. So yes, if your bathrooms are broken down and you can't flush the toilet in your own stateroom and you're serving stale food and most of your itinerary has been changed, then you can get upset and start saying, I deserve some money back. What's going on? So Norwegian has offered everybody any excursions, of course, you bought for those ports and everything, or taxes and port fees are all being refunded to the passengers. You're not going to have to pay for the port fees and the taxes for those ports that they didn't go. And any shore excursions you booked, of course, you get back as well. They didn't also, there was no extra charges for your drink packages that were on board, even though you were now on the ship more often. You could drink more. It actually costs the cruise lines more money when they can't dock, because more people don't go ashore and stay on the ship and drink more, and they start losing money on those drink packages. So to say that the cruise line loves it when they can stay at sea because they make more money that way, in fact, in reality, they usually end up losing money because people overindulge and will take advantage of that drink package, and it's the way it goes. But they've offered a 25% future cruise credit as well to the passengers. And so I'm kind of in a mixed mind, because I see these people riding, and there's actually a video out there. I'm not going to put it on because of copyright restrictions and that, of a bunch of people surrounding one officer. There's 2 security guards behind him. They're not doing anything. They're just standing, and the officer's trying to he's talking like this. He's trying to stay calm. And the person is just standing there holding his phone recording, going, "You're lying, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying." The officer's just trying to talk to him. "Lower your voice, please, sir. You know, let's talk this. You're lying, you're lying." First of all, that's ridiculous to do that. You look like a moron. I hate to say it. You look really dumb in the video, because the officer's being polite, he's being a gentleman, he's just trying to talk to you, and you're the one causing the disturbance. You really don't look good in the video. So I don't know who you are. You might be the greatest guy in the world, but don't do that. Don't do that. I always say yelling and screaming and or pushing, worst case scenario, touching an officer or anybody working at a cruise line is out of line. You could be upset all you want. Yelling never solves anything. And just screaming at officers and booing them, and what do you think the officers are going to do? They're going to, "Oh, okay, everybody, here's all your money back. I have all the authority to do that." They just work on a ship. They're not the ones out there that make the decisions. So no, yelling at them does nothing at all, except possibly get you in trouble. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can protest, but yelling at these individuals who are just trying to talk to you and explain what's going on as best they know, as best they can, doesn't make any sense, because it's not going to solve anything, because they're not the ones writing the checks. They're not the ones making the decision. It's corporate headquarters in Miami or California. That's who's making the decision. So why are you yelling at some assistant officer on a cruise ship. Because it makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. You start your protest, you send in your letter of complaint, you contact social media, you do the posting on Facebook, you do posts on Twitter, you do that kind of thing. Yes, that's your prerogative. Try and get your whatever you can. If you're unhappy and you really think that you deserve all your money back or a refund of some kind, that's how you do it. Yelling at people on the cruise ship, and I'm sorry, it makes no sense because they can't do anything about it. They literally can't do anything about it. That's kind of my stance on that part. But here's here's where I'm conflicted, because if they had stale food, they missed a bunch of ports, and the toilets were backed up in my cabin, then I think a 25% future cruise credit might not be reasonable. However, if the food was fine, and my bathroom was fine, and we just missed some ports because of bad weather or a circumstance that's out of the cruise line's control, 25% is, I'm afraid, completely acceptable to me. I really think that's fair. Weather is weather. Running to our cruise in Shanghai, we didn't know if the ship was going to be able to leave in time to escape the typhoon, and if it didn't, we would have been stuck in port until it left. Possibly the whole cruise would have been canceled. Is that the cruise line's fault? No, it's Mother Nature. Mother Nature's fault. So I'm a mixed. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you think they're just being entitled? I'm seeing all these cruise lines from an NCL hell, 14 days to hell cruise, and I don't know, because the people I've talked to on the ship say, we were stuck on the ship, we missed some ports, it really wasn't that bad, we're still on a cruise ship, it's better than work. And then there's all these posts saying how the food was terrible and the bathrooms are, I don't know, because I wasn't on the ship, but I am talking to people who were definitely on the ship, not just reports. So let me know. Tell me, what do you guys think? You think 25% is acceptable? I kind of think if your bathroom was backed up for numerous days, stale food, and missed itineraries, then I can say you should give us a little more. But for the majority of people, I hear the bathrooms were fine, most people said the food was fine, and you had to change ports, then I think 25% is kind of acceptable. I've had numerous cruises change the entire itinerary all the time. Do I demand my money back? No. It's cruise life. Weather happens. You have to watch out. Cruise during hurricane season, typhoon season, you take your chances. I don't know. I just looked at some of those videos out there. If you're out there searching for them and you're just looking at these people screaming at these people, these officers who are just talking and quietly, and then people doing this to them, and I don't know if I can do it anymore. I don't have that patience anymore, and I'm a pretty easygoing guy. It just looks bad. It doesn't make any sense to me. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm out to lunch. I just never think that doing a commotion like that really serves any purpose. I really don't. You complain afterwards, you do your Facebook page. Remember the Norwegian cruise that had construction on board for their 14-day cruise, and they were offered a 25% future cruise credit for that. They didn't riot, they didn't complain, they started a social media campaign. They got bloggers like myself and other people like Tony and Jenny from La Lita Loca. They did videos on it saying, hey, what's going on? This isn't right. How could you have done this? And they ended up getting all of their money back. That's how you protest. You don't start screaming at people who have no control over anything. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.